Well, here we go. It's Game 7 of the 2007 American League Championship Series at Fenway Park. And the Red Sox fans who are packed into this stadium wondering if tonight the Red Sox will complete their comeback and stamp their ticket for a date in the World Series, or if the Indians will move on to take on Colorado. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. That is Tim McCarver. And for my money, Tim, here we are, Game 7. LCS. It doesn't get any better than this, maybe in all of sports, but definitely this is the best baseball has to offer.
These two teams have played 243 games this year, and it boils down to one, as you can hear. What an atmosphere.
And really, for a Game 7, we've seen this before. All of the rules that are typically followed by a manager are thrown out. Those rules are broken. It's managed differently tonight than it is any other night. And if you're wearing a uniform for either side, you better be ready to go play.
Particularly with the pitching staffs. You get the feeling that when a pitching change is made, it gets the feel of a ninth-inning pitching change. Josh Beckett is ready for the Red Sox, probably later instead of early. The first guy out of the bullpen could be Hideki Okajima. And on the Cleveland side, CC Sabathia, in 270 games in his professional career, has never pitched as a reliever. We could see it tonight.
Each team has won 102 games this season in total. We get ready for Game 7. 65 degrees at the start of the night here on Sunday, October 21st. Beautiful day here in Boston, and for the Cleveland lineup, we give you their rookie right-handed reliever, Jensen Lewis.
This is Jensen Lewis, reliever of the Cleveland Indians, with your starting lineup for Game 7. Leading off, Superman in center, Grady Sizemore. Hitting second, the Whiz Kid, Asdrubal Cabrera. Hitting third, prompt, Travis Hafner. Batting fourth, our catcher and our RBI baseball champion, Victor Martinez. Batting fifth, playing first, is Ryan Garco. Batting sixth, Johnny Peralta, playing shortstop. Batting seventh, is Kenny Lofton, the ageless wonder, in left field. Batting eighth is Franklin Gutierrez, playing right. Batting ninth is Casey Blake, playing third base. And our starting pitcher tonight is Jake the Snake Westbrook.
Attaway Jensen, he grew up wanting to be a play-by-play announcer. And Kevin Millar, the former Boston Red Sox first baseman DH, gives you the Boston lineup tonight.
And your starting lineup for your 2007 Boston Red Sox. Batting first and playing second base, the Dustin Pedroia, whom I'm lending my number 15. Batting second, playing first base, Kevin Youkilis. Batting third, known as the Big Papi, and DHing. Batting fourth, Manny Ramirez in left field. And batting fifth, Michael Lowell, the biggest eyebrows in baseball. Batting sixth with a big grand slam last night in Game 6, J.D. Drew, and playing right field. Batting seventh, Jason, the captain, Veritek, Johnny Unitas, the only guy to wear a flat top in 2007. Batting eighth and playing center field, Jacob Ellsbury. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, Julio Lugo, from Tampa Bay to Boston. And doing the pitching night for the Boston Red Sox, known as Dice K, Daniel Matsuzaka.
All right, thank you, Kevin Millar. And there are the starting lineups for this Game 7. There are the eyebrows, and there's your right-hander Dice K Matsuzaka, a 15-game winner during the regular season. So far 0-1 this postseason. He took the loss in the 4-2 win by Cleveland in Game 3. Ball one to Grady Sizemore.
Jensen Lewis saying Grady Sizemore was Superman. He's been without his cape the last 4 games. Only 2 for 14 over the last 4 games against Boston.
A shattered bat and a pop-up for Pedroia. And Superman just broke his bat.
He can do that.
The scouting report on Daisuke Matsuzaka.
I think the obvious logical question, how long can he effectively last? As you mentioned in the opening, Joe, this is not a normal game. At any sign of trouble, someone will get up in the bullpen. Different pitches from different angles.
Terry Francona telling us before the game, typically you say to a pitcher, simplify things. But they really want Daisuke to make things more complicated because of all of the weapons he has and not just rely on the fastball and the cutter.
Yeah, don't limit yourself to 2 pitches. Use all 6 of them.
An impressive rookie as Drupal Cabrera, the number 2 man in the lineup for Eric Wedge. Schilling on the left, the winner last night. Beckett on the right is available to pitch tonight on 2 days rest. Foul tip, strike 2.
In Japan, it's legendary. It's the gyro ball. All it is a glorified screwball.
.95-mile-an-hour fastball fouled back by Cabrera. $51 million from the Red Sox to Seibu, his team in Japan, just to talk. A $52 million deal later and a $103 million investment to put Matsuzaka in a Red Sox uniform, and here he is in Game 7. Up the middle, Pedroia on 2 hops. 2 out. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they are hoping that their DH can center a ball and give the Indians a jolt. Ball 1. 96 from Matsuzaka. But the experience thing is only as good as, in this case, Matsuzaka on the mound, and if somebody's going to do something heroic out of the lineup for the Indians tonight. Breaking ball for strike 1. ALCS Game 1. One of just 3 hits in this ALCS for Hafner. His only home run. He has only 2 RBIs.
This is a pitch that has given him fits. The fastball. Normally a fastball hitter, but the Red Sox pitchers have been just blowing it by. Prompt.
Two nations hanging on every pitch from Daisuke Matsuzaka. Red Sox Nation and Japan. 13 hours ahead.
Monday morning rush hour in Tokyo. 9:30 a.m.
2-2 pitch. Full count with Victor Martinez, the switch hitting catcher, on deck. So much was made of Daisuke after that Game 3 loss, staring into his locker for an hour after the game. Terry Francona didn't mind it, thought he was trying to separate himself from that game, and when he walked out of the ballpark that night, it was over. He's retired the first 2. And Hafner, a weak swing, had a pitch up and away. Grady Sizemore, since Game 2, 2 for 15. And overall this postseason, 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and Hafner with 9 strikeouts in his last 15 at bats, and he's looking for his first hit in a while. Under the bright lights, it's the right-hander Jake Westbrook, who was so good in Game 3 back in Cleveland. He got the win and almost got through 7 full.
6 shutout innings before Jason Varitek hit a 2-run homer in the 7th inning. And speaking of 7th, this is Game 7. No room for error. If there is a mini rally, you're gone, and pitchers understand that.
Again, Sabathia is in the bullpen for the Indians. Josh Beckett is in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia leads it off for Boston. And Sabathia is already out there. Beckett's in the dugout. Gets the outside corner, and strike 1 to Pedroia. Home plate umpire is Randy Marsh. And Westbrook in this series now has thrown a first pitch strike to 22 of 28 batters faced. 0-2 on Pedroia. First pitch strike to the first 11 in Game 3 for the 30-year-old right-hander Westbrook. And because of those first pitch strikes, it doesn't allow these Red Sox hitters to be as patient and get into hitters' counts as they have against the big 2 for Cleveland. That's into left field, base hit.
That's not a mistake as far as pitches is concerned, but the location. Too much of the plate. Pedroia goes down to get it. That looked like a changeup, which is an odd pitch to throw on an 0-2 count. Breaking ball away, fastball away, but a changeup? Odd.
Here's Euclid. Look at those numbers. Overall in the postseason, a .400 average, .478 in this series. Hitting in front of Ortiz. Ball 1.
Call that a changeup. Sometimes when a fastball pitcher grips a ball too tightly, he throws it slower. We've talked about it time and time again. The tighter the pitcher holds the ball, the slower the pitch is.
Two 2-0 on Euclid. Euclid was hit by a pitch against the Yankees on the 15th of September. Missed 7 games. An injured wrist. Has been slowly but surely working his swing back into order, and by his own description, a handsy hitter. He's been hot. 3-0. Right down the middle. 3 balls and a strike for Euclid, who hit only .238 after the All-Star game. Overall hit .288, 83 RBIs, 16 home runs, and he's gone deep twice in this series.
Great spot in which to hit. You know you're going to get the fastball. You have to make sure it's a strike.
Left side, base hit. And already in this first inning tonight, the top 2 guys doing what they did all night last night. 7 times Pedroia and Euclid were aboard.
What makes Ortiz so difficult for a sinker ball pitcher? A sinker baller has to keep the ball down to be effective in double play situations. And Ortiz is such a good low ball hitter that he takes out the left center field here with the Green Monster.
Down the line, but foul.
And that's the stroke that's dangerous in this ballpark.
Mo Vaughn made a lot of money with that stroke here at Fenway Park. Green Monster is not far away, 37 feet tall. Ortiz can play pepper against it. I like that pitch from Westbrook, getting Ortiz off the plate.
Yeah, you got to move his feet in order to keep that sinker effective. That's where pitchers try to pitch Ortiz, but sinker ballers can't pitch a guy like Ortiz inside because the ball straightens out inside.
Back in there and a swinging strike. It's 1-2.
Two good biting sliders into Ortiz.
Second inning against Westbrook back in Cleveland. The Red Sox loaded the bases with nobody out. Didn't score. Lofton went deep in the bottom of the second, and the Indians won it 4-2. 2-2. A .432 career average for Ortiz in the postseason with runners in scoring position. And a big strikeout for Jake Westbrook. He went right back in there and rings up David Ortiz.
After that first foul ball on the sinker, watch the pitches from Westbrook. Inside. Outside. Biting inside. And he got Ortiz on that slider inside. A little cut fastball or slider. Three excellent pitches to get Ortiz.
Now Manny Ramirez with 2 on and 1 out. Hitting .421 in this LCS. 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Strike one on Manny Ramirez. If you're wondering who is Jake Westbrook, 30-year-old, 6'3", 200-pounder from Danielsville, Georgia. Picked up by the Indians from the Yankees, along with Ricky LeDay and Zach Day, for David Justice back in 2000. 96, 97 was in the Colorado system and spent weeks on the disabled list this year from May 7th to June 4th with a strained abdomen. It has been getting better as the season has worn on. Strike 2 on Ramirez. First 12 starts for Westbrook this season. He was 1-6. Last 15 starts, he's 6-4, but a good ERA of 3.29. Another 0-2 count for Ramirez. He's hit .400 with 2 home runs and 5 walks.
Totally unaffected with 2 strikes.
Victor Martinez set up way out there. Ball 1.
The reason we talk about staying ahead, one major league hitter this year hit over 300 with 2 strikes on him. One. And that was Placido Polanco of the Detroit Tigers, and he had 350 with 2 strikes. And he was the only one. So you get 2 strikes on hitters, the advantage certainly goes to the pitcher.
Hard hit, bad hop, past Peralta. Here comes Pedroia, and the Red Sox strike first.
That may have hit the lip. I think it hit the lip. We saw a ball hit the lip in last night's game and stay down. This ball hit the lip of the infield grass and went up right there. A bad hop to Peralta. Good base running by Pedroia. Great jump from second. A lot of times that runner at second has to freeze with the line drive. Pedroia with a good jump to score the first run. Watch that ball go up when it hits. Bang.
It was a tailor-made double play ball. And the Red Sox watch it take a hop. It's an RBI single for Manny Ramirez. Shoot over the head of Johnny Peralta. Boston leads 1-0. Lowell now batting with 2 on, only 1 out. Ball 1. Last night it was Grady Sizemore who led off in game 6 and hit a ball down the right field line. Some thought was a home run. It was not ruled a home run, ruled a foul ball. He eventually grounded out. And then the Red Sox went to work and they got the grand slam from Drew with 2 out in the bottom of the first. 1 ball, 1 strike as Westbrook gets that outside pitch.
And yet another 2-strike hit by Manny Ramirez.
Ball 2. Last night it was Kevin Youkilis up.
See how that ball stayed down. Youkilis with an infield hit, and tonight the ball hit by Manny Ramirez goes up and over the head of Peralta, and the Red Sox score first.
2-1 to Lowell. 3 balls and a strike. And Drew could bat with the bases loaded again in the first inning. Or Westbrook has to challenge Lowell, who led the Red Sox in RBIs with 120. Line drive, base hit left field. Youkilis will be held as Kenny Lofton gets it back in a hurry, and the bases are loaded for Drew.
Ball hit too hard here at Fenway Park. Lofton does not have a strong throwing arm in left field. But here at Fenway, a ball hit that sharply. No way to try to score the runner, and now with Carl Willis coming out, you wonder how long it's going to be for Cleveland to get somebody up in the bullpen.
Well, if you want to just paint it in broad strokes, the difference between tonight and game 3 for Westbrook is the first pitch. First 11 hitters in game 3, the first pitch was strike 1, and it has been hit or miss so far tonight. He fell behind Lowell. Lowell got him for a base hit. He fell behind Youkilis. Youkilis got him for a base hit. And he's given up 2 2-strike hits, 1 to Ramirez and 1 to Pedroia. Last night, first inning, 3-1 pitch, 2 out, bases loaded. Drew became an instant hero.
Seems to me Cleveland's got to get somebody up right now. If it's CC Sabathia, he's a starter, and he takes longer to warm up than a reliever.
Drew. That hit the mound. Peralta out at second and out at first. A bare hand grab in the middle during that double play, and a big twin killing turn behind Westbrook. 1-0 Boston after 1. Talked about Placido Polanco in the last half inning. He would get my vote as the best defensive second baseman in the American League. Didn't commit an error all year, but as far as making the sparkling play and the athletic play at the second base position, I haven't seen anybody better than Asdrubal Cabrera, and it paid off and avoided at least 1 more run. Who knows how many, turning that double play to end the bottom of the first.
That was a sensational turn of a double play, because if he uses his glove, if the glove comes into contact, it's not a double play. Drew beats the play at first base. It had to be barehanded, very awkwardly barehanded, and a strong throw to first to get Drew.
Victor Martinez took a ball now as strike, and here's the play.
Little shovel from Peralta, barehanded to get Drew. You can see if that glove's involved, no chance to get the guy at first.
And
that's
a little
big
wink.
time right
I mean,
there, boy.
that's Vizquel-esque.
Yes, sir.
From the other side of the bag. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Victor Martinez out in front of it. The tap foul, it's 1-2. It's Martinez, Garco, and Johnny Peralta. If anybody gets on, the number 7 man, Kenny Lofton. Matsuzaka had a perfect first inning. 1-0 Boston on the RBI base hit by Manny Ramirez. serve to third base and caught by Lowell. 1 out.
Talk about a hitter. Victor Martinez spraying line drives all over the ballpark after failing to get a ball out of the infield in game 1. He can hit. Line drive right at Lowell.
Here's Ryan Garko. Meanwhile, when you think about Matsuzaka, he won 7 of his first 9 decisions. But from the 15th of August, his record 2-5, including the postseason, and his ERA is over 7. But Tim, it's not that he doesn't have the great stuff. I think his approach is something that he's been talked to about from Curt Schilling, from John Farrell, his pitching coach, from Terry Francona. It has been a long first year here in the States for Daisuke Matsuzaka. The 0-1. Nasty breaking ball, 0-2.
Way outside, and Garko went. I mean, you can imagine the cultural problem alone of coming from Japan, but of course the Japanese players know that. And Terry Francona firmly believes that he'll be okay next year with a year under his belt.
Weekly hit left side, and the chance for Lowell. 2 out. Matsuzaka in Japan for Seibu, 8 years, 108 and 60 was his record, an ERA of 2.95. But realize it's only a 6-team league, so he only has 5 opponents within his league that he's pitching against. You don't have the travel, obviously, Japan, that you have here, and he pitched with an extra day's rest compared to the 5-man rotation and what they ask of starting pitchers here in the big leagues in the States. Peralta grounds out. Lowell took care of all 3, and a good start from Matsuzaka doing his part. Bottom of the 2nd at Fenway Park. 1-0 Boston. Varitek hits one into left. Off the top of the monster, and Varitek is going to cruise into second base with a double.
I think somebody's got to get up right now in the Cleveland bullpen. 5 hits for Westbrook, off of Westbrook, in 1+ inning. And once again, CC Sabathia being a starter, if you're going to bring him in, he's going to take longer to warm up. To me, you cannot wait too long in this game.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. Last night, Jacoby had a hit, was 1 for 5 with an RBI, a run scored. Showing bunt. Watching Jacoby Ellsbury before the game bunting, they lay a hat down along the third base line where DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach, is walking down to give the signs, and Ellsbury tries to bunt it into the hat, and he did it 2 times during 1 round of swings. He is a very good bunter.
I don't think this is the time to bunt. You give up an out.
He showed it, now he doesn't show it, and he takes the ball up and away. 1-1.
Maybe to get the infield moving around, it looked like Terry Francona said swing the bat. You've got Julio Lugo on deck. If you had somebody else on deck, then the bunt would be in order, but not now.
Well, it has at least done its job of bringing the infield in on the corners. Garko in at first and Blake in at third. That's on the corner, and that's strike 2. And now those 2 infielders will back up. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ellsbury, and as Tim said, Julio Lugo waits on deck. And a little flare for a base hit. A 2-strike hit. The 3rd of the game against Westbrook already.
Ellsbury driving in his first postseason run last night. with a little flare to left field, and now a key hit just getting by Peralta. Varitek had to hold up and can only go to third.
And I know where you're looking more than you're looking down on the playing field right now.
You're right.
Out in the bullpen. And there is no action for the Indians as Julio Lugo steps in first and third. Nobody out.
I mean, you don't want the game to be out of hand when you make your first move.
Lugo, strike one. It's something that we talked about with the managers prior to the game, and walking that fine line of letting a starter settle into the game. But because this is game 7, and if the game gets away from you, the season is over. You also have to be at least prepared to make a change when the time comes. Westbrook battled out of big trouble in the first, and now he checks on Ellsbury. Jacoby was 9 for 9 in the stolen base department, in case you're wondering, during the regular season, and he is 1 for 1 in the postseason. Lugo last night with a 2-run double. Step to third, look to first move, and Ellsbury was barely off the bag. So the speed of Jacoby Ellsbury, the rookie at first, is at least on the mind of Jake Westbrook and the Indians bench. Ground ball, double play ball to short, out at second, out at first, a run scores. It's 2-0. But Westbrook gets another double play behind him, and that is now 19 double plays that the Red Sox have hit into this postseason. 13 in this LCS.
Yeah, that's the 8th double play turned by Westbrook. He has led the majors in double play ground balls the last 4 years.
So no RBI for Lugo. He plates the run. It's 2-0, and Pedroia steps in with a bases empty, 2 away. He singled and scored his first time. Ball 1. Terry Francona has stayed with Pedroia. Eric Wedge, the Indians manager, has stayed with his lineup despite some of the struggles. That's a little fly ball into left for Kenny Lofton. A run in the first for Boston and a run in the second. 2 double plays turned behind Westbrook, who has been able to limit the damage. A leadoff double by Varitek got it started. Ellsbury helped out. Lugo plated the run. 2-0 after 2 in game 7. Top of the third inning already. 6 hits for Boston, but just 2 runs because of the good sinker ball of Jake Westbrook and the 2 double plays turned behind him. Kenny Lofton first up. And that one gets away from Matsuzaka. Lofton took Matsuzaka deep in game 3. A 2-run shot. Cleveland looking for its first base runner tonight. And after a fast start in this ALCS, Lofton has cooled off. Lofton didn't like the call. It's on the outside corner, 1-1.
Lofton thought it was outside. It was close. Notice how Varitek just holds the glove when he catches the ball. Modern term is framing. He does it well.
Strike 2. Tonight's AT&T trivia question, a good one. Can you name the 3 Hall of Famers that played in the last game 7 at Fenway Park, which was the '86 ALCS against the Angels? One-two pitch to Kenny Lofton. Out of play. What a dramatic series that was.
at Game 5, one of the classic games in postseason history against the Angels and the Red Sox. Won in extra innings on a Dave Henderson home run off Donnie Moore.
2-2. Nobody in the history of baseball has ever jumped higher and twirled in the air than Henderson after hitting that home run.
Yeah.
On his way to first.
And while all that was going on, Game 6 between the Mets and the Houston Astros were going on in Houston. A 16-inning affair won by the Mets, and they won the National League pennant.
The 2-2 pitch. Lofton takes ball 3. Lofton hits one in the air to right. Easy for J.D. Drew. 7 up, 7 down against Matsuzaka. Here is Franklin Gutierrez, and his manager Eric Wedge has shown an awful lot of faith in this 24-year-old outfielder. Last night, Eric Wedge gave the start to Trot Nixon, who was 2 for 3 with 2 singles. A line drive into right caught for an out. And Trot Nixon is a .333 career hitter during the postseason here at Fenway. Strike 1.
Yeah, I think that's the first questionable move that's from a lineup standpoint, and the insertion of a starter from either manager in this series. Now, had Nixon gone 0 for 3 yesterday, it's no question Gutierrez, with much better defensive player, he's in there. But a lot of raised eyebrows since Franklin was starting after Trot Nixon, who was with the Red Sox for almost 1,000 games, had 2 hits last night.
There's numbers in this series and overall in the postseason, hitting .455. The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. But Eric Wedge will tell you Gutierrez is our right fielder. He said that we in this series have not seen how good he can be. He's very good defensively and is a center field type player playing right.
Well, if you're Matsuzaka right here, you go out of the strike zone to try to get Gutierrez. Off the plate away. Play on the fact that he is a young hitter.
Gutierrez doesn't go after it. 2-2.
Fish ain't biting.
Gutierrez has struck out 6 times in this series and is just 2 out of 15. All 4 of his RBIs and his home run came in game number 2 here at Fenway. Full count as it was with Lofton. On deck is Casey Blake. Gutierrez reaching for it, pops it up. Pedroia for out number 2, and that's 8 straight retired by Daisuke here at the start. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
And Joe, Terry Francona's message to Daisuke for this game was pound the strike zone. 16 of his first 21 pitches were for strikes. And as far as communication goes, it's good. John Farrell, pitching coach, said while Daisuke was taking English lessons this year, he was taking Japanese lessons. It's more a cultural difference through an interpreter. Daisuke said after game 3 he wanted to atone. That was the word he used. And his teammates say no matter what his facial expression is, he's one of the fiercest competitors they've ever seen. And that comes through no matter what culture you're in.
Thank you, Chris. He's 27 years old, Daisuke, as Casey Blake shows bunt takes a strike. But it's not some kid who's on the big stage for the first time. He was the MVP of the World Baseball Classic 2 springs ago, was 3-0. ERA of 1.38, beat Cuba to win it for Japan. That's over but low. 1-1. He was 1-1, Daisuke was, with a 1.69 ERA in the 2004 Olympics in Athens. 2.33 ERA in the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. And when the Major League Baseball players went over to Japan, Daisuke faced him and he threw a 5-hit complete game effort for the victory in a 5-1 win.
You also talked about him in high school. He went to Yokohama High School, where in a quarterfinal game of the Koshien National High School Tournament, he struck out or threw 250 pitches in 17 innings and then got a save the next day.
Blake, base hit, and the Indians have their first base runner of the night. And now Grady Sizemore will have a chance to come up with something for Cleveland as Casey Blake becomes the first base runner of the night for the Indians.
That was a breaking ball that didn't break, just hanging in the middle of the plate, and the Indians have their first base runner. Can you imagine that, though? A high school senior throwing 250 pitches and then coming back the next day and getting a save.
Then the day after that threw a complete game in the winter.
Yeah, right.
Grady Sizemore 0 for 1. He popped up his first time. On the inside corner, Sizemore didn't like the call. For the Indians, have got a guy at the plate who hit 24 home runs during the regular season. He's hit 2 in the postseason. Started this night, though, hitting only .208 in the ALCS. Now 5 out of 25. So down to 200. Varitek keeps it in front of him, but Blake, he's done that 2 times in this series, showing he's a good base runner and on his toes. That pitch hit the dirt and he was off.
That is terrific base running. Ball in the dirt in front of home plate, a little inside to Varitek. Nice job of blocking it, but you've got to run if you're on first base immediately, and that's what Blake does.
So now a base hit cuts the lead in half. It's 2-0 here in the top of the third. But again, 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position this postseason for Grady Sizemore. One of the best young players in the game. Strike 2. Time granted at the plate by Randy Marsh prior to the pitch from Matsuzaka, so the count remains 1-2, and Matsuzaka just went ahead and threw it anyway.
Matsuzaka very deliberate out there, and he had taken too much time, and Grady Sizemore stepping out. You want to make sure the umpire hurt you, particularly with 2 strikes.
Indians desperately need a hit from Grady Sizemore. Matsuzaka started to walk off. It's ball 2.
Well, Sizemore thought the first pitch was low, and Matsuzaka thought this pitch was not too high, but it appeared to be.
So a 2-2 count. Decent swing by Sizemore at a 93-mile-per-hour pitch. That was a shot of Okajima out in the bullpen, and Terry Francona said that even in the early innings, if there is a jam, Okajima could be the one called upon out of the bullpen. Typically, he's a 7th, 8th, even a 9th inning guy.
Yeah, he has not come into a game prior to the 6th inning this year. In fact, he's only come into the 6th inning once to start the inning.
Can Sizemore get the big hit with 2 out? Nope. First pitch rides up and into Kevin Youkilis, and we start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Youkilis, Ortiz, and Ramirez. 2-0 Boston. RBIs by Manny Ramirez. The other scored on a double play ball off the bat of Lugo. Another rocket hit by Youkilis. He'll have at least 2. Kenny Lofton digs it out. Another leadoff double. How about 7 hits against Jake Westbrook already?
There have been 11 Red Sox hitters up thus far. Every ball has been hit to the left side of second base. Not one ball to the right of second. We said it in the first, we said it in the second, and we'll say it in the 3rd. The bullpen should be up, and finally, Jensen Lewis is up and throwing.
So Lewis gets loose. And here is David Ortiz, who struck out his first time with runners on at 1st and 2nd. By the way, Kevin Youkilis is now hitting .520 in this ALCS, and for a guy who was around on the team but not on the active roster in 2004, he's making the most of this chance here in 07. (2-0) on Ortiz. Inside corner, 2-1. Good pitch from Westbrook, and that's the area where Westbrook got Ortiz back in the 1st.
Yeah, he's made his best pitches against the most dangerous hitter, arguably, in the Red Sox lineup. Ortiz or Ramirez, take your pick. He has threaded the needle with 4 pitches on the inside corner.
Back inside, Ortiz was ready for it, and he wheeled on it. Foul. 2-2. They have some new members down in the drum corps and the bullpen for the Red Sox. I wonder if Beckett's in on that.
I'm not sure they allow starters into that group.
Two and two, the count on Ortiz, who gets time at the plate.
Mariano Rivera, the great Yankee stopper, said this about David Ortiz, that he used to have holes, but he's filled them up. You used to could come inside on him, not anymore. Unless you just bury the ball inside.
To the right side, going to 3rd is Youkilis, 1 out. So Ortiz advances the runner, and Manny Ramirez is coming up. Our AT&T trivia question was, can you name the 3 Hall of Famers who played in the last Game 7 at Fenway Park? The '86 ALCS, Wade Boggs, and then 2 Angels, Reggie Jackson and Don Sutton. Here comes an intentional pass. For 2 reasons. Obviously, you've got one of the most dangerous hitters in the game and Manny Ramirez at the plate, and a double play candidate in Mike Lowell on deck, and that's what Westbrook has featured. 2 double plays turned behind him in the first 2 innings.
One thing you hate to do, you hate to walk hitters regardless of how dangerous they are in the early innings when you're behind, as the Indians are. But really, Eric Wedge has no choice right here.
That's what we talked about. That's what we talked about, that rules that typically apply during the regular season are broken in a Game 7.
Yep.
And Wedge just broke one with Lowell coming up. It's only the third inning, and Lowell's a guy who can burn you with 120 RBIs in the regular season and was 7th best in average at 324. Jensen Lewis has got to be ready in the bullpen for the Indians, so that option is there for Eric Wedge if and when he needs it. Ball 1 to Lowell. Lowell singled his first time. A run producer is the Red Sox third baseman. That's low. 2-0. J.D. Drew on deck. In the air to right field. Euclid will tag. Gutierrez with the catch. Euclid to the plate to make it 3-0.
Red Sox have scored a run on a double play and now on a sac fly. You could see that expression on Westbrook's face, like, oh no, not another run. The minute Lowell hit that ball, Westbrook appeared to know that it was deep enough to plate the run.
Now Drew bounced into a double play his first time, and Lowell not trying to pull that pitch, just serving it into right field, a pitch that was up and away, and he made the RBI look awfully easy here in the third inning.
Taking what Westbrook gave him.
There's a strike to Drew. It's 1-1.
Picket fence going. 1-1-1.
Drew with 5 RBIs last night. Up on the count here, 2-1. The Indians are trying to become the first team since the 1992 Atlanta Braves to go from up 3 games to 1, lose games 5 and 6, and then come back and win game 7. That was the Sid Bream score on the hit by Cabrera.
The pitcher who won game 6, by the way, of the 1992 National League Championship Series, Tim Wakefield.
Here's a 3-1. Drew in the air to left. Lofton drifting. And there to make the catch. Two, 3, and 4 hitters for the Indians, and first pitch swinging is Asdrubal Cabrera. Julio Lugo hauls in out number 1. We talked to John Farrell, the pitching coach of the Red Sox, comparing what he sees tonight to what he saw in game 3 back in Cleveland.
Yeah, Joe, I think the biggest thing is he's commanded his fastball down to the bottom part of the zone pretty consistently here tonight. And I think the one thing we like to see is a little bit more off speed. There's a very good hitting fastball club that we're up against, but so far so good with Daisuke.
Yeah, Terry told us before the game that typically you tell a pitcher just simplify things, but for Daisuke, you don't want him to be so simple. You want him to use all of his stuff that he brings to the park every time out.
Well, we do, because we feel like his greatest asset can be when he's unpredictable, throwing any pitch at any given count. But the one thing that he will not do, he'll never give in to a hitter, and at times that works somewhat of a negative because he can run his pitch counts up. But as long as he doesn't get too fine after he gets ahead of hitters, I think we'll be in good shape.
You don't worry that much about pitch counts tonight, right, John?
No, we don't. We've got a full bullpen. Actually, Beckett is capable of 2 innings here tonight, so we'll see how this thing goes.
John, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks, Joe and Tim.
It's John Farrell, the pitching coach for Boston. Meanwhile, Travis Hafner is at the plate. 0 for his last 16 with 10 strikeouts. Travis, one of the real good power hitters in baseball. His home run total just 24 during the regular season, but he knocked home 100. Went through an 0 for 21 stretch in July after he signed a 4-year extension. Then he picked it back up. He hit .316 in September. Had 23 RBIs in 27 games, but here in this ALCS, he has really been searching for it. Two and one. Victor Martinez on deck. Single tallies in each of the first 3 innings for Boston. Only 1 hit and 2 strikeouts for Matsuzaka. That's well hit in the air to left field. Back at the wall. This ball is off the green monster for a 1-out double. And Travis Hafner trying to get something started here in the 4th inning.
That was an inside-out swing by a very strong guy. Looked like a cut fastball on the inside part of the plate. A Fenway double for Hafner. First Indian tonight to be in scoring position.
Because of that, Veritek goes out and goes over the signs with Matsuzaka.
I'd like to correct that. Casey Blake did go to second on that wild pitch, so he was down there in scoring position. So the second in scoring position for Cleveland.
And it's Hafner with Victor Martinez at the plate. Victor lined out to third his first time up. The Indians, the first 6 games of this postseason, hit .311 as a group. That carried over from the division series against the Yankees, the first 2 games of this ALCS. But over their last 4 games as a team, they're hitting .213. And that has hit every part of what is a very well balanced lineup for Eric Wedge. Victor Martinez has been hitting throughout, however. .348 coming in this ALCS. .350 overall during the postseason. Matsuzaka knocks it down, has time, and gets Martinez 2 out.
Good play by Matsuzaka with the backhand. Ball hit to his right. Watch how quick he is. Ball does not trickle away that far. Martinez is a very slow runner, and an easy play for Matsuzaka.
So now with Hafner at second, 2 out, Ryan Garko will be the hitter. That ball was hit hard.
Yeah. A long way to go to try to backhand that ball. Nicely done by Matsuzaka.
Indians tonight trying to get back to the World Series for the first time since 1997. They've won 5 pennants in the American League. Mark Shapiro, their GM. There's a strike on the outside corner. Indians won the pennant in 1920. They defeated Brooklyn in the World Series. 1948 they defeated the Boston Braves, but haven't won since. 54 they were swept by the Giants. Willie Mays catch in game 1. 95 they lost to Atlanta, and in 1997 heartbreak, blowing a 9th inning lead and losing in the 11th to the Marlins. Here's an 0-1 to Garco. Strike 2. Been a nice pace to this game from Matsuzaka. He is not hurried. He's taken his time, and he has been effective, allowing 2 hits. He struck out 2.
One thing he rarely does to right-handed batters, he doesn't throw the fastball inside with 2 strikes. So if you're a right-hander, lean away.
Breaking ball away, and it's fouled by Garco. Still 0-2. Ryan has hit in 6 straight postseason games. Took something off that pitch, and Garco was out in front, got a piece, still 0-2.
Joe Torre was a marvelous major league player, most valuable player back in 1971. And the first time I heard it was when Joe said it: never let a hitter get you out away with 2 strikes. Now, does that mean you're vulnerable inside? Of course. But you cannot take the pitch away, particularly if you're a right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher with 2 strikes.
Garco right on top of the plate, up to get it, and fouled it straight back.
So if you're a pitcher or you're a catcher, you have the luxury of going farther away because it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Garco bounced out to third his first time up. Garco checked his swing, and they do not appeal down to first.
That's what Dice K did. He went farther away, and Garco held up in time. I think Ryan may see that pitch again.
A 1-out double by Hafner, then Martinez. Bounce back to Matsuzaka. Away, and Garco able to get a piece.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Did you see Varitek move inside? A lot of people think that pitchers pitch it exactly where they want to. Watch Varitek move inside, and the ball sails back over the middle of the plate. He missed by a lot and got away with it.
Two and two. Ninth pitch of this at bat coming from Matsuzaka to Garco, and Ryan Garco could put the Indians right back in this game, down 3-0, top of the fourth. Hafner at second, 2 out, and a 2-2 count. That is shot into center field, back at the wall. It is off the green monster. The Indians are on the board. It's a 2-out RBI double by Ryan Garco, who has now hit in 7 straight, and it's a 2-run game.
Veritek wanted the ball off the plate away. What a battle and a great at bat by Ryan Garko. Watch this ball hang right in the middle of the plate for Garko. Veritek wanted it away. We've said it many, many times. Catchers don't catch those pitches.
Garko almost got it out of here. That ball was blistered, and now the tying run at the plate, Johnny Peralta. And a wide strike, 0-1. Peralta checked in at the start of the night, hitting .342 this postseason. He has 2 home runs in this ALCS. Both are 3-run shots. That's Josh Beckett. Tying run at the plate, ball 1. It was in this type situation where the Indians owned the Yankees pitching staff in the division series. Runner in scoring position, 2 out. They were 12 for 27. It's been a different story in the ALCS. Strike 2.
Cutter.
Cleveland just 7 for 26 in this series with 2 out and a runner in scoring position. Peralta fouls it out of play.
Well, he got away with another one there. High breaking ball. Peralta with 2 3-run home runs, and both of them on similar pitches.
If you're the Red Sox looking from the dugout, and John Farrell, you can't like what you're seeing here over the last couple of batters.
Not this inning. Getting under the breaking ball, leaving it up. Left it up to Garko. Left it up to Hafner to begin with. And he got away with one then.
2 doubles in the inning, 1 run, and now a 1-2 to Peralta. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, and a little squibber. Tough play. Lugo makes the play, and the inning is over. But the Indians are on the board. 2 doubles in the inning. Bottom 3 in the order for the Red Sox. Veritek, who has doubled and scored, then Ellsbury, then Lugo against Westbrook. Just had a talk with Eric Wedge, manager of the Indians, and his team is on the board after the 2-out RBI double by Ryan Garko. Two and 0. Veritek homered against Westbrook in Game 3 in Cleveland, and he's up on the count here, 3-0. Three and 1 on Veritek.
Red Sox have had their leadoff runner on in the first 3 innings, and every time, every inning, they've scored.
Full count on Veritek. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, Chris Myers, our producer Pete Macheska, our director Bill Webb. Fenway Park, Game 7. The winner of this game will host World Series Game 1 on Wednesday night. 3-2 to Veritek. Base hit. He's 2 for 2. We talked to Eric Wedge, the Indians manager, and talked about that big 2-out RBI double hit by Ryan Garko to put Cleveland on the board in the last half inning.
That was a great at bat. I mean, he had to foul some pitches off, some tough pitches, and
at the soccer, he's throwing the ball well tonight. I mean, he's throwing the ball well. So, we got to work cut out for us. But I feel like we've been putting up some tough ABs. We just have to make sure it translates for us now.
Let's talk about your starter, Jake Westbrook. He has been bending a little bit, but hasn't broken. He's gotten a couple big double plays.
That's exactly right. And that's what he does. He puts the ball on the ground. And, we got to do a better job of those first couple of hitters and not creating so much, damage for ourselves and him having to work that hard. So we're keeping a close eye on him, but hopefully he's going to settle in.
Yeah, I see you talking to Carl down there a lot, and I'm sure the topic of conversation is how long do we go before we start dipping into our board?
Well, you know what? We've got guys down there, but, it's a lot to ask him when you talk about the third or fourth inning. So hopefully Jake can get back on track and we'll be okay.
Eric, thanks for your time tonight and all series long.
All right, thank you.
All right. Eric Wedge in his 5th season with the Indians, and he has Jensen Lewis up for the 2nd time tonight. As the Red Sox have 8 hits already against Westbrook, but only 3 runs. Ellsbury takes high with Casey Blake way in, expecting a bunt. Ellsbury took ball 1.
You think of the common baseball sense. You've got a guy who throws strikes. He throws ground balls. You've got a contact hitter at the plate. Everything cries out for a hit and run. The Red Sox have the lead. You take more chances with the lead. We'll see if Veritek's running.
And a line drive. That's a fair ball. Throw down to second to get the lead man. And Varitek is erased. 1 on, 1 out.
Very nearly caught the ball for the double play. In fact, Varitek going back to first base. Had Garco caught the ball, perhaps Varitek beats him to the bag. Watch, Varitek doesn't break right away. So he's an easy out at second base, but really that was the proper play Jason made then.
So the Red Sox in essence trade the speed of Varitek at first for the speed of Jacoby Ellsbury, who is a threat to steal.
Oh, he'll run, and sometimes, during this sequence, he'll just choose a pitch and try to choose a breaking ball. Reason for that, a breaking ball is slower. Often it's in the dirt.
And you can bet we'll see a lot of that. Pedroia on deck. Jacoby Ellsbury 10 for 10 as a big leaguer, regular and postseason stealing bases. Starts and stops, and a strike to Julio Lugo.
Westbrook varying his deliveries. We mentioned it the other night. One of the best ways to stop the steal is to make him wait at first base. Mess up their rhythm. A runner has a rhythm just like a pitcher does.
There he goes. Lugo with a base hit into right center field, and Ellsbury will end up at third.
Red Sox had the right guy covering in Cabrera. He broke too far to second base. That's what speed does to you. You know, if you're Cabrera, that you've got to get to the bag quickly because of Ellsbury. And in his haste, he vacated the position, and Lugo found it. Red Sox threaten once again.
And once again, as you look at the hit, you wonder how much longer the Indians will go with Jake Westbrook, who's allowed 9 hits through 3 1/3 innings. That Cleveland bench is hoping for the 3rd double play ball of the night. But Jensen Lewis is ready for whenever they call on him. Pedroia takes a strike. The red-hot Kevin Youkilis on deck.
And red-hot runners at the corners. Ellsbury with great speed. Lugo led the Red Sox in steals with 33. I think you take advantage of Victor Martinez's arm right here.
One ball, one strike on Pedroia.
That's the one thing the Red Sox have not done during the whole series is take advantage of Martinez's arm. He threw out 28% of the runners, only 14% last year, and while he's improved behind the plate, he's still not a good throwing catcher.
Meanwhile, the guy at the plate, Dustin Pedroia, looks for his first RBI of this ALCS. Strike 2. The only strikeout tonight for Westbrook was courtesy of David Ortiz back in the 1st inning. Two and two. Red Sox have won 8 of their last 10 postseason games here at Fenway. A streak that started with Game 4 of the 2004 ALCS, the beginning of that comeback against the Yankees. The 2-2. Lugo is running and a ground ball to the second baseman. Out, and another double play. Westbrook and the Indians get it, their 3rd of the night and 14th of this series. Pedroia hit it hard. Lugo ran right into the out. Westbrook gets another double play, pumped up. Kenny Lofton, the number 7 hitter for the Indians, will lead off. Franklin Gutierrez and Casey Blake will follow. Matsuzaka working in the 5th. 3-1. The Red Sox lead Game 7. Lofton 0 for 1. Takes ball 1. The pitching stuff of Daisuke Matsuzaka was much better the first 3 innings than what he displayed in the 4th. And moments ago, Josh Beckett was up and starting to get loose in the pen for the Red Sox. This is Ramirez watching it go over his head, and Lofton will try and turn it into a double. He is out.
Manny Ramirez decided he couldn't make the play, got in a good position to throw it, and Kenny Lofton appeared to be safe. That left hand was in before the tag was made. He tagged him high, but the left hand was in. No argument from Lofton. Nonetheless, a fine play by Manny Ramirez. He looked out, but wasn't.
Now with 1 out, a strike into Franklin Gutierrez. Meanwhile, we watch night after night during batting practice during the postseason, and you could see the glove glance off the top of the base and not the hand of Kenny Lofton. The tag applied by Pedroia. The out call was given. That's up the middle, and Gutierrez is on with a 1-out hit. But night after night during batting practice, Manny Ramirez takes fungos off the wall. They hit him fly balls against the Green Monster. He plays the caroms, and he knows that wall, and it paid off on this ball hit by Kenny Lofton. He did not get too close to it.
Now, you know, Yaz is watching this telecast, and nobody made that play better or played that wall better than Carl Yastrzemski. And Manny Ramirez, a Yaz-like play, appreciated by Dice K.
And now it's Okajima getting loose for the Red Sox in their bullpen as the Indians are catching up to Dice K. Last inning in this, Blake, who has a hit, takes a ball. On deck is Grady Sizemore with a full complement in the bullpen for Boston. Depending on what Casey Blake does here, this could be it for Daisuke here in the fifth.
Right.
One ball, one strike in a 3-1 game. Tying run at the plate. Timlin is also at least getting warm, but it's Okajima who is getting loose and warming up, with thoughts of Grady Sizemore, who is on deck. Strike two on Blake.
You know, the interesting thing about that double play that ended the fourth inning for the Red Sox, normally with runners on at first and third, the runner at first will stop when the second baseman catches the ball and get in a rundown. But because Lugo was running on the play, Julio probably thought that he's too close to second base and should go ahead and try to get to second base. And it was really too late to stop and get in a rundown.
Big with the runner at third.
Right.
A 1-2 pitch. Blake serves one into right. A base hit. The Indians get another hit, their third of this inning. It's first and third, only one out, and we'll see with Sizemore coming up and Okajima in the bullpen if the change is coming here. 3 straight hits.
How big was that play by Manny Ramirez now to get Kenny Lofton at second base? Huge.
Huge for the first out. Matsuzaka has thrown 74 pitches. And John Farrell, the pitching coach, is out to talk. So far tonight, Sizemore has popped up, struck out, and they are going to leave Matsuzaka in the game.
You wonder whether Okajima is ready. I think you have to make the move right now.
I do too.
I just don't think you can allow Grady Sizemore to hit against, for the third time, against Matsuzaka. A very dangerous ploy by Terry Francona.
First and third, one out. Red Sox stick with their starter, Matsuzaka. Grady Sizemore in a key spot takes a strike over the outside corner. Oh for 9 with runners in scoring position in the postseason is Sizemore, but he can erase all of that frustration if he can connect here against Matsuzaka.
Eric Wedge said when he's at his best, Grady Sizemore can control the game. If there were ever a game to control, it's right now.
24 home runs during the regular season, hit .277. First and third, one out. Sizemore fooled out in front of it, strike two.
That was his gyro ball. Again, the screwball. And Sizemore really looks bad on that. You can see how he releases the ball. It's got that odd movement.
Rarely a strike and way ahead of Sizemore.
Only 71 miles per hour. Sizemore digs back in with an 0-2 count. First and third, one out. Ball one. Okajima in the bullpen is good against left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. Francona showing faith in Matsuzaka. 1-2 pitch. First and third, one out. And that's to the left side and out of play. Beckett threw a few pitches, just got his arm loose before the start of this fifth inning, but it's Okajima ready to come in if he's needed. And Matsuzaka wants a new baseball. 5 hits against Matsuzaka in the last inning and a third. 2 doubles in the fourth. Hafter and Garko, and then 3 straight singles to start this fifth inning. But Lofton was out at second, trying to stretch his single to a double thrown out by Ramirez. Sizemore into center field. Tagging is Gutierrez. And it's a 1-run game. Franklin Gutierrez scores. Sac fly by Grady Sizemore, and that is just his second RBI of this ALCS. It's 3-2. And now has Drupal Cabrera. Tying run at first, 2 out. That's Blake at first, and Cabrera searching for his first hit since the series returned to Fenway. 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Strike one. Better velocity on that fastball. 0-1. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Boston in the bottom of this fifth. Euclid, Ortiz, and Ramirez. Strike 2.
Backdoor breaking ball from Matsuzaka.
Ball one. Down the left field line, slicing into the corner, foul. Grady Sizemore, who got the sac fly and plated the run to make it a 3-2 game, was kept in the park by Daisuke Matsuzaka. Matsuzaka did not allow the hit there and could maintain the lead through 4.5 if he can get Cabrera. Meanwhile, Cabrera is trying to set up Hafner, who doubled his last time up. He's on deck. One on, two out. And a shot down the right field line, hooking into the corner, foul. The 1-2. Cabrera fights it off. 4 inches of snow in the Denver area today.
Rockies had to work out inside after playing 2 days of inter-squad baseball, like going back to high school or college, I guess, for the guys.
Entertaining themselves while watching these games at night, wondering who they're going to play. Another 1-2. That's ball 2. And every member of the infield started to walk off when that pitch was caught by Varitek. But Randy Marsh said ball 2 instead of strike 3.
I mean, everybody, particularly Mike Lowell and Julio Lugo. But nope, false start. Back to your positions, fellas.
So Cabrera gets at least another pitch. And another foul. So we'll say it again. Here's Daisuke facing Cabrera with the left-handed hitting Travis Hafner on deck and Hideki Okajima ready in the bullpen. You could make the case that either way, either he gets out of this 5th inning and his night is probably finished, or if he doesn't get Cabrera, you would expect to see Okajima for Hafner.
You're right.
One on, 2 out. Cabrera strikes out. Terry Francona did just that. He trusted Daisuke Matsuzaka, who gives up 1. 7th game of this ALCS, bottom of the 5th inning. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Boston. Youkilis first up. He's 2 for 2. Trying to force his way. Well, he's done that. Force his way into the conversation for the MVP of this series if the Red Sox should prevail. First pitch of ball. Okajima still up in the bullpen. 3-2 Boston leading. And because of 3 double plays turned behind him, Jake Westbrook has been able to hang in this game. 3 runs on 9 hits.
Jake on ever so short a leash right now. Understandably.
Good pitch, fooled Youkilis, strike 2.
That was a changeup. Try to break the rhythm of Kevin Youkilis, who is locked in.
Nobody getting loose for the Indians at the moment. Jensen Lewis has been up twice. That's wide, 2-2. A strikeout, number 2 on the night for Westbrook. Westbrook has been helped by 3 double plays. In the first, off the bat of J.D. Drew with a bare hand grab in the middle by Cabrera. In the second, off the bat of Lugo, 6-4-3, and then with Lugo running on a ball hit by Pedroia, 4-3. And that has helped Westbrook limit the damage and get around the 9 hits and the intentional walk. And with 1 out, here's Ortiz, ball 1. 14 double plays in this series. And 20 in this postseason. So many double plays the Red Sox have hit into, and that's a new postseason record. 1-1 on Ortiz.
Okajima continues to throw. I would think he would be the pitcher in the top of the 6th inning, particularly with Travis Hafner leading off for the Indians.
Westbrook, the 1-1. He has fooled Ortiz all night. 1-2.
Made him conscious inside so he can go away. Back in there.
And fouled. That's the shortstop, Johnny Peralta, on the other side of the bag. 2 out. One of the big highlights for the Red Sox tonight to this point as we play in the 5th is the defensive work and the arm and the throw of Manny Ramirez to get Lofton to start the top of this 5th. He has an RBI single. He has been intentionally walked. Strike 1. One ball, one strike. Westbrook has really battled here tonight. Certainly does not have his best stuff, but he has kept his team in it. At the moment down by just 1 here in the 5th inning. Strike 2.
Westbrook and Victor Martinez starting to mix their pitches up a little more, just like Daisuke did in the 5th inning. Change up to get Cabrera, change up to get ahead of Sizemore. Now Westbrook doing similar things.
Got him on the outside corner. Westbrook with 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 on the night. He's doing what he can. Who's coming up? The 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Indians in the 6th, down by 1. During the regular season, the Red Sox bullpen was #1 in the American League. The collective ERA of 3.1. And Okajima, who was an all-star in his first year in Boston, was a big part of it.
Red Sox started this game with a man, as you see Mike Timlin, Josh Beckett in the background, a man who cost the Red Sox $103 million. Joe talked about it earlier. Okajima signed a 2-year deal for $2.5 million. That's about 2.5% of what they're paying to get Matsusaka.
Hafner pops it into left. Ramirez back at the track for out number 1. 1 for 3 so far tonight for Travis Hafner. Something else that comes into play here, and that is the anchor at the back of the bullpen. The Indians have Rafael Betancourt, who has been almost untouchable. He's allowed only 1 hit in this ALCS. Well, he has worked 6 1/3 innings. And on the other side, Jonathan Papelbon said before the game, I will be ready from the 7th inning on. One out, nobody on. Victor Martinez at the plate. Ball one.
If this is your first time seeing Okajima pitch, you're probably saying, what is that violent head jerk toward the third base line when he delivers the pitches? Well, that's part of the reason that he is so effective. Mentioned it the other day that in Japan they tried to actually, no pun intended, but get his head on straight and to have him throw with that head still. But he was ineffective and went back to the way he did it when he got to the Red Sox. And can he ever do it? Here it is one more time. If you haven't seen it, watch. Does that on every pitch.
Behind on the count to Victor Martinez, who hit 25 home runs during the regular season. 2-1. On deck is Garko. April 2nd, first pitch that Okajima threw. John Buck of the Royals hit it 410 feet for a home run. Then he went 20 2/3 innings without allowing another run. He misses, down and away, 3-1. Martinez has hit .421 over his last 5 games against Boston. 0 for 2 tonight. Full count. Victor Martinez could tie it with the long ball, and he taps it foul. Victor has hit 2 home runs this postseason. Just got a piece. In the air to right, J.D. Drew to his left. 2 out, Garko coming up. A battle for a spot in the World Series. There's the prize. With 2 out, Garko. Ball 1. Garko doubled homer run his last time up with a double high off the wall in left center field. He had 21 home runs during the regular season, and he has been a much more dangerous hitter as the innings have gone on this postseason. The later in the game, the better Garko has been. The 1-0. In to his left, Lugo stumbles a bit but gets the out, and Okajima has a perfect first inning of work in the 6th. Lowell, Drew, Veritek coming up for the Red Sox, who lead Game 7 by 1. And with Rafael Betancourt getting loose, Westbrook survives into the 6th inning. And Mike Lowell, who has a single, a sac fly, is first up. First pitch a strike. Strike two.
Aaron Laffey, by the way, threw 50 pitches last night, did a wonderful job for the Indians. He is probably not available tonight unless this game goes extra innings.
On the outside corner. And that is 3 strikeouts in the last 4 outs picked up by Jake Westbrook.
Yeah, this resurgence of his fastball and pinpoint control that was lacking in the early innings. 5 in a row now retired by Westbrook. But my thinking, Joe, was, you know, once you retire Mike Lowell, you could bring in a left-hander, but no confidence in Rafael Perez, who in an inning has an earned run average of over 45. So you can't bring him in to pitch to the left-handers, Drew, and 2 hitters, Ellsbury.
That is a rocket foul. And when you don't have Rafael Perez available in the late innings, that's a big weapon that the Indians were counting on coming into this series against the left-handed thunder that the Red Sox can bring at you.
Right.
Drew checks his swing, and talking to Eric Wedge about Perez, he doesn't really know what's wrong with him. The only thing he can figure out is that maybe he's starting to tire. But he was sensational against the Yankees in the division series, has not been so against Boston. 2-2 on Drew. To the second baseman, Cabrera. What a job done tonight by Westbrook. Now Veritek is fooled.
Looks like a different pitcher on the mound. He is dealing.
One ball, one strike. Last year we were in New York at Shea Stadium for the NLCS. It went 7 games, and another number 37 was pitching for the Cardinals, Jeff Suppan, who got out of trouble much like Westbrook, and then he kept his team in it. So Yadier Molina hit that home run to put the Cardinals in the World Series. Westbrook has been terrific now after struggling the first 3 innings. 2-2 on Veritek. Jason Veritek strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts in the last 6 outs picked up by Westbrook. Still 3-2, 7th inning now. It's the 7th inning of game number 7, a 1-run Red Sox lead. For the Indians, it's Peralta first up. Fooled by Okajima, strike 1. Johnny Peralta, Kenny Lofton, Franklin Gutierrez. Peralta tonight 0 for 2. Who's getting loose? Jonathan Papelbon, the closer here in the 7th inning for Boston. One ball, one strike. Peralta's grounded out twice. 7 of his 13 hits in this postseason have been for extra bases. He's popped 2 home runs in this series, both 3-run shots. The 1-1. Ball 2. Down the right field line for Drew. On the dirt, 1 out. Kenny Lofton is coming up. Back in the 5th inning, he led off and hit one off the wall and left. And Manny Ramirez took over from there. Played it perfectly through a strike. It looked like the left hand of Kenny Lofton got on the bag prior to the tag, but out was the call, and then 2 hits followed. So 3 straight hits started the 5th. But with that play at second base, it presented the Indians with only 1 run on a sac fly by Grady Sizemore. Lofton shallow left. Lugo drops it. Lofton ends up at second base, and that's the tying run.
Ramirez would have called Lugo off that play. However, Lugo put his right hand out saying, "I've got it." And it looked like it drifted on him and drifted off the webbing. You could see the right hand going up. When that happens, outfielders are warded off. That ball off the webbing.
And so now with that error by Lugo, his first of this postseason, he made 19 during the regular season. The tying run is in scoring position for the Indians, and the man that Eric Wedge stuck with and put back in his lineup, Franklin Gutierrez, steps in. Strike 1. It's Gutierrez now. It's Casey Blake on deck, and that may be the chance that the Indians have been waiting for. It's presented because of an error on a pop-up off the bat of Lofton and off the glove of Julio Lugo. A spin but no throw by Okajima. Can Franklin Gutierrez deliver for the Indians? Became the regular right fielder during the month of August. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Indians making noise again. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Well, Joe, we've had a lot of major shifts of momentum in this series, but this Cleveland dugout, you know, last night in the first few innings of this game, very uneasy, very tense. But since Jake Westbrook has been pitching so well the last 3 innings here, the look in the eye, the confidence level, I don't know if you can draw offense from the way your pitcher is going, but you're feeling it here. The longer the Indians hang around in this, even if they don't rally to win it or to tie, it won't be because they're short on confidence.
Thank you, Chris. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gutierrez, who hits one foul.
Westbrook has retired 8 Red Sox in a row. Looks like he's using his changeup much more beneficially, moving the ball around. Smiles coming easy in the Indian dugout, even though they're still trailing by a run.
Gutierrez able to get a piece. Okajima trying to give the Red Sox 2 big innings of relief work. He had a perfect 6th. Retired Peralta to start this 7th. Has the error behind him and now has to try and pitch around it. Hard hit, and that's a fair ball. Lofton will round third. He stopped, and it's 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
What is that all about?
Joel Skinner, it looked like he was waving him home, and Lofton got confused and stopped.
Boy, that's a great call by third base umpire Paul Emmel. That ball crossed over the bag and then landed in foul territory. Lofton was held up. Yep, he was held up all the way because Skinner, the third base coach, and you could see that's clearly a fair ball. It went over the bag, landed in foul territory. A good call by Emmel. But Joel Skinner, a bit cautious at third base, I think.
I would agree, and that's the reaction from Eric Wedge in the dugout as that base hit by Gutierrez, and Gutierrez has come through for Eric Wedge, makes it first and third for Casey Blake, and does not tie this game. Lofton, with his good speed, is held at third, and now the pitch to Blake. To the third baseman, Lowell. Pedroia, double play, and the Red Sox keep their lead. Cleveland's been turning them all series, and the Red Sox get a huge double play to end the top of the seventh. Still 3-2. Bottom of the seventh inning, and it's Jacoby Ellsbury first up against Rafael Betancourt. But the conversation has got to go back to the base hit by Franklin Gutierrez, and Lofton, who was on at second after the error by Lugo, being held at third as that ball hit off the billboard down the left field line in foul territory, kicked back toward the field of play, and Ramirez hadn't even picked it up yet. And Lofton was held at third. The double play ball followed, and it's still 3-2 Boston in the seventh.
I don't think there would have been a play on Kenny Lofton coming home. I understand why Joel Skinner, the third base coach, held him up quickly, because you've got to make your mind up immediately. Because if you don't, the left fielder can throw behind the runner if he makes a wide turn. But you got to make your mind up in a hurry. Joel Skinner elected to hold him immediately, and it was the wrong move.
That is the life of a third base coach, having to make that determination. But when that ball hit and then kicked back, it was still rolling on the ground as Lofton was getting to and getting beyond third base, but was held there. And now Ellsbury fouls it back, still 1-2.
Joe, I think initially Skinner was waving Lofton home.
Yeah, see, that's what I saw. He's waving him home, you're right, and then stops him late.
Right. The initial action is waving with the left arm, and now he's watching Ramirez, and he determines that the play can be made. Keep in mind, if Lofton is thrown out at home, you still have Gutierrez on at second base. You don't have a man on third and less than 2 out, but you do have a man in scoring position. Gutierrez would have gone to second on the throw.
Ellsbury hits one to third off the glove of Blake, and Jacoby will end up at second base.
The minute Casey Blake goes back, allowing the ball to play him, it's a very difficult play. You have to determine that hop quickly. And Ellsbury on second with an error, and now look for Lugo to bunt. Everybody knows the bunt's coming here.
Meanwhile, for Julio Lugo, who made the error to put Lofton on base in the first place, nobody more excited to see that double play ball off the bat of Casey Blake to end the top of this seventh. Pinched in on the corners of the infield, and Lugo pushes one to the first baseman Garco. The flip for the out. Ellsbury at third, one away. And here's a chance for Pedroia now to knock home his first run of the ALCS. Infield is in with the great speed of Jacoby Ellsbury at third. Even with the infield in, they better be perfect. Strike one. Pedroia had first and third in front of him back in the fourth inning and bounced into a 4-3 double play. Pedroia launches one into left. At the wall. Pedroia, two-run shot. Red Sox up 3. Not bad for a guy who describes himself as 5'2", 115 pounds.
I was thinking the same thing.
Pedroia listed at 5'9", 180, and he goes deep for his first RBIs of this ALCS. And the rookie, his first postseason home run. Youkilis is jammed. 2 out. Meanwhile, Betancourt had not allowed a run in the postseason in 8 1/3 innings coming in. And the rookie they love to pick on in that Red Sox clubhouse, Dustin Pedroia, has just opened up a 3-run lead for Boston.
Terry Francona and Pedroia play cribbage every day before the game. Francona's description: I wear him out. I beat him every day, and then he goes out and gets 2 hits. Tonight he's 2 for 4.
Now David Ortiz with 2 out. Strike one. Ortiz is hitless tonight. The guy who started this was Ellsbury, who has 1 hit earlier. And the speed had to play a factor on that ball hit to Casey Blake. He backed up on it. It ate him up. Down to second went Ellsbury on the error. Over to third on the bunt by Lugo, and the home run by Pedroia. And not only from game to game, but obviously minute to minute and inning by inning, the momentum continues to switch from one side to the other, and now the Red Sox seem to have all of it. Strike 2 on Ortiz. Skinner made the decision on that ball that hit off the billboard. Remember, Ramirez has already thrown out 1 runner. He threw out Lofton, ironically enough, back in the 5th inning. Ortiz just flips the bat at it, flies it to Lofton and left. Okajima's first pitch to Grady Sizemore, trying to bunt. He does bunt for a base hit. And so the Indians come right back, put their leadoff man on here in the 8th inning, down by 3 as Sizemore bunts his way on.
And that could very well be the end of Okajima. Papelbon is ready in the bullpen. A great bunt by Sizemore. Shoveled by Euclid to Pedroia, but too late.
Well, the 2 Japanese imports that the Red Sox brought in, Daisuke Matsuzaka pitched the first 5. Okajima pitches the next 2, gets into the 8th inning, and with Asdrubal Cabrera coming up, and here is Cabrera, and in his a 3-run game, and with the left-handed hitting Hafner on deck. Right now Francona is going to stick with Hideki Okajima.
And we have said it in past playoff games. Jonathan Papelbon has never had a 6-out save. He's only had 1 5-out saves.
Strike 1 on Okajima. Okajima, as Cabrera looked at the first pitch for a strike, Okajima has had plenty of time off as the Red Sox extend him here in Game 7. Hideki did not pitch in Game 6. Did not pitch in Game 5. Did not pitch in Game 4. Line drive, base hit into center field, and the Indians will have the tying run come to the plate. The rookie Asdrubal Cabrera with a base hit up the middle, 2 on, nobody out, and that's going to be it for Okajima. What a job by the left-hander as Papelbon, the closer for Boston, will enter. 2 on, nobody out. Boston up 3 in the 8th.
Papelbon is in the game, but we're going back to that play in the top of the 7th inning with Lofton on at second base. Gutierrez with a base hit down the line, and look where Lofton is when the ball is approached by Manny Ramirez. There is no way that Manny, in my judgment, and Joe evidently in yours, that he would even have had a play. He'd probably go to second base with the ball.
Yeah, he's not even close to it with Lofton at third. But now fast forward to the 8th. That was the Indians' chance to tie this game in the 7th. Instead, the double play ball followed, and now Jonathan Papelbon, the closer for Boston, who is still looking for his first career save opportunity in the postseason. If he gets a save tonight, he will earn it. He needs to get 6 outs, and he comes into the game facing the tying run in the person of the DH Travis Hafner, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Papelbon gave up 5 home runs during the regular season. Hafner now, then Martinez, then Garco. 3 home run threats for the Indians. Strike 2. Not much mystery as to what's going on the first 2 pitches of this at bat. Heat against heat.
3 straight fastballs to get Hafner. You can see Varitek standing up. When he does that, you know the fastball's coming.
So now Victor Martinez, who can really hit. Terry Francona talked about him tonight before the game. Another chance for the Indians. Martinez 0 for 3 tonight. He has 2 home runs this postseason. In his career, 0 for 1 against Papelbon. Might be 2. Pedroia, a double clutch. Lugo can't turn it, and it's first and third, 2 out. First Pedroia, then Lugo, and the inning continues.
Neither could get the ball out of the glove. First Pedroia, right there. Now Lugo, right there. Martinez, perhaps the slowest player on either team. That is a double play that should have been turned and wasn't. See if the Indians can take advantage.
Now it's Garco. Ryan hit an RBI double high off the wall in deep left center field back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. 21 home runs during the regular season. 1 this postseason. Strike 1.
97 miles an hour.
The ball that struck out Hafner was 98. One ball, 1 strike.
When a ball is thrown that hard, it's the pitch that's down that's easier to pull. But from the waist up, from the waist to the letters, if he can get the fastball there, forget pulling it. He may hit it out. It's got to be to another part of the field.
Strike 2.
That was a slider. First breaking ball thrown by Papelbon. Looked like it crossed Varitek up. I wonder if Varitek was expecting a fastball. Looked like it.
Into right center field. Well hit. Ellsbury to his left. Inning over. The scene here at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox first started playing in 1912. And Manny Ramirez first up in the bottom of the 8th. Boston leading 5-2. Betancourt gave up 2 runs in the 7th inning. One of them earned with a 2-run home run off the bat of Dustin Pedroia, which has given Boston the breathing room here in the late innings. Ramirez, after the first pitch, pops it up. Cabrera, 1 away. And on this night, Game 7 for Boston as they try and move on to the World Series. Ortiz 0 for 4. Manny Ramirez 1 for 3 with a walk. This lineup has been strong at the top with Pedroia and Youkilis again, and at the bottom with Veritek 2 hits. Ellsbury a hit, reached on an error, scored a run. Here's Lowell. Strike one.
How many games end here at Fenway Park with Red Sox fans talking about the defense of Manny Ramirez? Not many, if any.
He plays that wall well here at Fenway, and he showed it yet again as he played it perfectly on the ball hit by Kenny Lofton, leading off in the 5th inning. Lofton thrown out at second by Ramirez, and the tag by Pedroia. 2 hits followed, only 1 run in the inning because of that play. Strike 2 on Lowell. Jonathan Papelbon is trying to send the Red Sox to their 11th World Series and trying to ring up his first postseason save. These two teams finished the regular season with identical records of 96 and 66. But because the Red Sox beat Cleveland during the regular season 5 out of 7 games, they got the home field advantage. And there aren't many advantages in sports like the one the Red Sox have here at Fenway. They won 8 of their last 10 during the postseason here at home. Lowell shoots one into left center field. All the way to the track, and Mike Lowell has a 1-out double. Here's Drew. Ball 1 from Betancourt. JD hitless tonight. He's bounced into a double play, fly to left, grounded out. One and one. Jensen Lewis has been throwing plenty down in the bullpen, but because Jake Westbrook did such a nice job coming together, getting his stuff together, and from the 4th inning on really shutting down Boston. Jensen has stayed put out in that bullpen. That's high to Drew. 2-1. This is the 8th time the Red Sox and their franchise has been involved in a Game 7 winner-take-all situation. And coming into tonight, Boston in their history 3-5. Won the last time in this situation in the 2004 ALCS at Yankee Stadium. To complete that comeback, down 3-0. They were down 3-1 in this series to Cleveland. Indians with 3 big outs left. Peralta, Lofton, and Gutierrez, the scheduled hitters in the 9th. Whoever wins this game, we will be here at Fenway Park for the presentation to the team for winning the American League pennant, and to whomever is named the MVP of this ALCS. rocket into center field. Here comes Lowell. Throw by Sizemore. Cut off. It's 6-2.
All of a sudden, J.D. Drew is locked in. That's his 6th RBI in the last 2 games. 5 last night. The big grand slam home run. And how things have changed for J.D. Drew here at Fenway Park.
Now it's Varitek. Captain of this Red Sox team, 2 hits, 3 at bats, a double, a run scored back in the second. The Red Sox got the first 3 runs of this night. Single runs in the first, second, and third, but then the Indians started to chip away. A run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, which included that play by Manny Ramirez in left, which was big. Then with a chance to tie in the top of the 7th. Lofton held at third, a double play hit into by Casey Blake, a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th by Pedroia after an error by Blake at third, and another run here in the bottom of the 8th. Drew is running and a bunt is foul. That was odd with 1 out.
Very odd. Jason Varitek bunting, a drag bunt with Drew running. I wonder if Varitek missed the hit and run. It's a possibility. But it's odd with 1 out. There's no way Varitek's trying to bunt Drew to second base. Drew running on the play, didn't look back at Varitek. Often that runner at first will take 2 or 3 steps and then look back to see what the hitter's doing. Find the ball. That was a weird play. I have no idea. How's that for crack analysis? I have no idea.
It's okay to admit that. Proud of you. Varitek with a big hole on the right side of the infield. Drew got a great jump when he took off. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. The rookie Ellsbury's made a difference. Fans were pleading call-in shows and the like with Terry Francona to make the switch. He did for Game 6. That is Coco Crisp. Different hairstyle for Game 7. And Ellsbury's made a difference in this game and made a good catch on that ball hit by Garco on the top of this 8th.
He really did. That was not an easy play to end the inning.
Garco hit it a long way into right center field, right at the Red Sox bullpen, and Jacoby Ellsbury ran it down. And on this night when everybody has been available to both managers, we've only seen a total of 5 pitchers. Strike 2 on Varitek. We thought we could see Sabathia. Beckett got loose a couple of different times. But Westbrook went the first 6, struck out 5, was very, very good as it turns out. Betancourt out there for his 2nd inning. And on the other side, Daisuke Matsuzaka is in line for the win. Okajima 2 big innings, and Papelbon trying for a 6-out save. 2-2 pitch to Varitek. 1 on, 1 out. Left side, near the line. Peralta and Blake collide. It's a fair ball, and it hops out for a ground rule double. It's a Bermuda Triangle down there here in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, you wonder if anybody's going to return from that area. That is Peralta's ball. He's got the best angle. But Casey Blake going too far down the line. No communication. And a botched ball by the Indians. It'll go as a double, but it should have been caught.
Second double of this inning and second double of the night for Varitek. And now with the infield in, here's Ellsbury. Jacoby is going to be intentionally walked. To load him up with 1 out for Julio Lugo. Ball 4 and the intentional walk. Second one handed out tonight by Cleveland. Ramirez got one back in the 3rd inning, and Eric Wedge jogs out. The Colorado story is unbelievable, sensational, and we have not seen anything like it with the way they have closed down the regular season and played in this postseason. Here's what they did to Arizona. They held them to 8 runs and a 148 average with runners in scoring position. They trailed in only 2 of 38 innings. First team since '76. I mean, you start piling it all up and you realize that this is a Colorado team that had a combined ERA of 2.08 in the postseason to this point. Remarkable. Did you ever think that a Rockies team would have a group ERA of just over 2?
No.
It's sensational for Colorado, and what a job they have done out there with a bases loaded, 1 out. That's off the end of the bat. Clint Hurdle, the manager. Bob Apodaca. And then you look at what the team has done through September 15th, 6.5 games out, and at the bottom 4.5 out of the wild card. They fought their way back. They got into that 1-game playoff thanks in large part to what the Milwaukee Brewers did on that final weekend against San Diego. But then Colorado had a good night swinging the bats against Jake Peavy and won the game coming back in extra innings against Trevor Hoffman in the 13th.
And overcoming a 2-run deficit there. Meanwhile, the Indians playing the infield in with 1 out and the bases loaded. It's unusual, but the fact that Lugo can run so fast and so well, you're almost forced to do that, because if he hits a ground ball to the infield, there's no way to double him up unless he hits it very, very hard. That's why the infield's in.
Bases are loaded, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike from Betancourt. Lugo defensively made the error on the pop-up on the ball hit by Loft, and then couldn't turn a double play in the top of this 8th inning. Because of the pitching of Okajima in the 7th and Papelbon in the 8th, it didn't hurt the Red Sox. The 1-1. Good fastball from Betancourt, strike 2. Boston has added a run here in the 8th, lead by 4. Their biggest lead of the night. A chance for more. 1-2 pitch to Lugo. Back toward us. Meanwhile, if Boston ends up winning this ALCS and they take on Colorado, the Rockies won 2 out of 3 games from Boston here at Fenway in June. And during that 3-game set, the Rockies outscored the Red Sox 20-5. The 1-2. Lugo strikes out, 2 away. And within that series, Josh Beckett allowed 6 runs against Colorado, his high for the year. Boston has not had to use him yet. Cleveland did not play Colorado.
And a big hand for a little man.
And he deserves it, with a leadoff hit and a run scored in the 1st, and a big 2-run home run in the 7th off Betancourt. Bases loaded, 2 out. And a shot into left center field could empty the bases. It will empty the bases. Dustin Pedroia with a huge Game 7. Eric Wedge will take the ball from Betancourt. Jensen Lewis coming in. Big damage done already. Boston leads in the 8th by 7. Fenway Park is literally shaking here in the bottom of the 8th inning of Game 7. Down 3 games to 1. Terry Francona handed the ball to Josh Beckett. He did the rest. And then coming back here to Fenway Park, it was Schilling. In Game 6, J.D. Drew with a big grand slam in the 1st. And tonight, the pitching has been enough, and Pedroia has had the night of his life with a 2-run home run in the 7th and a 3-run double in the 8th. 3 hits overall tonight, 2 more for Euclid. 2 out. Pedroia at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. Euclid gets in on the fun.
Kevin Euclid, red hot. He and Pedroia have singled, doubled, and homered in this game.
How about the Red Sox outscoring Cleveland 30-5 in the last 3 games? 11 runs tonight scoring for Boston, and only 1 hit and 1 RBI between David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez.
Somebody will pick up the box score of this game in 50 years and say, oh, what a blowout. But this game was so close for so long, for 6.5 innings. And then the Red Sox blew it open.
Last night Boston scored 12, and Ramirez had 1 RBI on a sac fly, and Ortiz did not drive home a run. So it's been other names. And the top 2 guys, Pedroia and Youkilis, a lethal combination in the last 2 games. Ortiz strikes out. But the Boston Red Sox are 3 outs away from riding to their 11th World Series. Papelbon back to the hill. 11-2 in Game 7. Defensive change for Boston. As we go to the 9th inning, Ellsbury moves from center to left. Coco Crisp is now in the game in center. Ramirez is out. 11-2, and Papelbon fires a fastball past the bat of Johnny Peralta. Matsuzaka 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits. Okajima 2+ innings, no runs, 3 hits, and Papelbon took care of the 8th. And he's 0-2 on Peralta to start the 9th. Just off the end of the bat. For the Indians, since the 6th inning of Game 4, they've scored 5 runs in 29 innings. And they've been outscored 30-5 in the last 3 games. Peralta floats a base hit into left field, and the Indians put their leadoff man on here in the 9th. Kenny Lofton will be the hitter. Kenny Lofton has a hit tonight. Also reached on an error. 17th year in the big leagues. 97 career postseason hits. 11th time in the postseason, and still searching for his first ring.
And he has been so close.
Into left. Ellsbury with a diving catch. Ortiz is ready for the celebration. 1 on, 1 out. Strike 1. Red Sox did not have to use Beckett tonight, so they'll have him lined up for Game 1 on Wednesday night. Gutierrez into right center field. Crisp is there. 2 out. The Boston Red Sox won 5 of the first 15 World Series. In 03, 1912, 1915, 1916, and 1918. In the 86-year layoff, They win it in 2004, and Terry Francona is about to take the Red Sox to their second World Series in his 4 years as manager here. Blake into right center field. Chris back to his left, still going, and the Red Sox win the pennant.
After that catch, Coco Crisp limping in to the celebration.
Slamming the bottom of his right leg and his knees into that wall, everything in the lower part of the body of Coco Crisp. Bore the brunt of that collision with Crisp and the wall out in that well area in right center field. Let's go down to Chris Myers with the Red Sox captain.
Joe, Red Sox Nation celebrating Jason Varitek still in his catcher's outfit. Congratulations, you go back to the World Series.
Very proud of this team against an excellent Indians team. They're a very good ball club, and to be down 3-1, come back against that pitching and that lineup, we did a heck of a job. We had a lot of things go our way, and it was good.
Who was it, or was it Josh Beckett's performance? Was it the veteran leadership? You're one of 7 guys from that 04 team that came back from 03 against the Yankees. What was it that turned it around?
Well, I think we knew that we didn't get any breaks. We didn't get a whole lot of calls, a whole lot of breaks. We didn't quite execute the way we wanted to pitching-wise, and that was the key. And then we started executing pitching-wise, set the tone by Josh.
All right, we'll see you in the locker room for the celebration and World Series here Wednesday night against Colorado.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jason Varitek. Let's go over to Ken Rosenthal with tonight's hero.
Yes, we're here with Dustin Pedroia. Dustin, 5 RBIs tonight. It was still a 3-2 game when you hit the home run off Betancourt. You hadn't touched him. How did you approach to that bat? Into this game when it was still close.
Yeah, well, you know, when I came into the game in the 8th, I knew that there were must-needed outs right there in that situation, and I just had a situation where I got to go 1 pitch at a time.
How confident were you guys down 3-1? Did you believe that it would come out like this?
You know what? We all believed. It wasn't just me. It was our entire team. You know, all 25 of us from top to bottom. We played 1 out, 1 inning at a time. That's how we got done.
You had a great dance when you clinched the division. What do you got for tonight?
Stay tuned. I got something for you, Ken.
All right, Jonathan. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
He is a beauty. He is great. Everything you want in a closer. First of all, he's fantastic. He throws rockets from the mound, and he is a free spirit, to say the least. He got the last 6 outs, got his first career postseason save. Daisuke Matsuzaka got the win in 5 innings. 2 big ones from Okajima. There they are, checked off the list, and an 11-2 win for Boston. They come back from a 3-1 deficit, win 3 straight, and off to the World Series they go Wednesday night here in Boston against Colorado. Final score here from Game 7.